Ben, I know personal milestones don't mean a great deal to you, but you go level with the great Neville Southall tomorrow on 92 caps. And what, you're short, 20 short of Gareth Bale, and you're one of the 3 players who played every minute in this tournament. Tell me about your pride in that, and just how long can you go on for with Wales?
Look, I'm very committed to playing for Wales, and I want to keep playing as long as I can, really, or as long as possible. But look, it's great to be mentioned in the same breath as people like Neville Southall, and look, I hope that I can play for Wales for a long time coming. But yeah, that will depend on me staying fit as long as I can, and hopefully performing at a good level.
Gareth Bale is, 20 ahead of you. Could you get past him, do you think?
I will keep playing for Wales as long as I can, and we'll see what happens.
I'll take that as a yes. And generally, how are you feeling about the way things are developed to an observer's eye really quickly? And the Craig Bellamy, how do you feel about the way the squad has adapted to the way that he wants to play?
I think it's a tough one. You don't get, a lot of time together as a squad when you're asking for such significant changes in the way you want to play. But that's probably why you're going to see good bits and maybe not so good bits in games. But we're committed to really trying to play some exciting football, to be on the front foot, and to play a certain way. And I think in these 5 games we've learned a lot about the squad. We've learned a lot about ourselves, and we've shown that on our day we're a match for anyone. So yeah, these 6 games have been very important for us as a group, and I think so far we've got to be proud of what we've put out there on the pitches.
Yeah, and last one from me. It's a squabble for second place maybe, but still a chance to overhaul Turkey. Does that have any bearing on how you approach things tomorrow?
No, I think from our perspective it's a game we want to go out there at home and we want to try and win. And look, I know we need some results to go for us if we want to top the group, but we can only control what's in our hands. So as far as we're concerned, we have to go out there, put a good performance in, and try and get 3 points.
All the best.
Thanks.
Jeff Rob, okay, right.
Hey Ben, how are you? You okay?
All good, thank you.
Ben, listen, I will talk about Wales, I promise, but if I may talk to you about Rodrigo Bentancur. First of all, a teammate, but also your positioning. You've taken a role with the PFA, the Players Board as well, that conduit between the changing room. I suppose first thing, the impact of Rodrigo's suspension today, and maybe the impact that it sends to players as well.
Look, I read the news this morning, probably just like everyone else did. It's something that at Spurs, it's felt like it's been handled in-house, and look, now it's been handled outside as well. So I think as a group, as a team from Tottenham, we've kind of all put a line under it and moved on. But I think ultimately it's important that we realise these kind of things need to be looked at with the seriousness that it has been. And yeah, like I've said, as far as I'm concerned and as the team's concerned, there's a line under it now and we move on.
Coming to Wales, you've captained the side now during these Nations League. Listen, you're a senior player anyway. We've seen the development of the team, of the squad, the experiences you've had over these 5 games. How's the journey? Even of a player of your stature, as you said, coming up with the caps you've got, how's the journey so far?
I think it's been a real journey of development and learning, really, as a squad, but also individually. When you work under new managers and new coaches, you're always taking new information in, learning new things, and I think that's what Craig Bellamy and his staff have really brought into us so far. We've tried to play a new way. Like I mentioned before, it's not easy when you don't have a lot of time together, and it can be a lot of information to take on, but it's something that this group is really keen to do, and I think that if we want to be competing with the best teams in Europe, then that's what we have to do.
One thing that's been great for us is that predicting a starting 11 has become a good game, because Craig was very honest. He was going to swap things around, play the opponent rather than what might be an obvious starting 11. But I suppose from the rotation point of view as well, how's that helping Wales? Because nobody's gone, moaning I'm not playing or whatever. There seems to be a point to make the team better against your point. How's the rotation sort of side being embraced by the players?
I think it just shows that every position is up for grabs, and keep showing if you're playing well, if you train well when you're as a group, then you've got the opportunity to be in that starting 11. And you've seen that with the amount of boys that we've used so far in this campaign, and to be fair, I think everybody has stepped up and shown the qualities that they've got. So the more experience we can get for everybody in this squad, the better it is for Welsh football.
Just a final one, just I suppose the impact that you get from the fans. For a long time we've spoken about that bond between the team and the fans, but there does seem to be, from the fans that I bump into, have a quick chat with before a game or after a game, a genuine excitement. Are you getting that translation back from the fans, that they've noticed a difference in the way you're playing, the way you're trying things as well, and maybe how does that affect you and help you?
Look, we've got an incredible relationship with the fans here. It feels like at our best moment they're with us, but also when it's tough out there, they're always there, they're always supporting us, and a lot of our success comes down to that. So yeah, it does feel like there's an excitement around us now. We're going into every game well aware of what we're going to try and do, and hopefully that can keep lifting the fans and have them behind us all the way.
Okay, we've got Lawrence, then Emil.
Hiya, Ben. Listen, Craig was really proud of you guys. He spoke afterwards, but he also said that he was being a bit greedy and he wanted you to dominate the ball a bit more. I was just wondering what his feedback was sort of post the Turkey game.
Yeah, I think it was exactly that. There was nothing more said behind closed doors. Obviously, we looked at the details and the reasons why and what we can do a lot better, but I think we felt that as a team as well. We've shown against Turkey at home, but also against other teams, that we are capable of dominating the ball a lot better than we did out there. And when you go to those tough environments, that's where you have to really step up. And look, I don't think we have to shy away with it. We know we can be a lot better in those games, and that's what we want to strive for. It's not going to be perfect every time, but that's our aims.
And I've got to ask you about your centre-back teammate, Joe Rodon. 50 caps for him tomorrow. And just, A, how good is he? But also, how's his eye after Saturday?
Yeah, he seems pretty fine after the game in Turkey. But yeah, look, I think he's shown time and time again in a Wales shirt how good he can be. He's one of our most reliable players, and he really did step up the other night. So for me, it was a very good friend with him. It's a very proud moment for me to see him get his 50th cap. He deserves it.
Emil?
Hi, Ben. I just wanted to know if you could just add a bit onto it. What specifically has Craig brought to the squad? Because seeing him speak a couple of times, it seems like he's just brought a steeliness. Obviously, it's been a great start, but just from your point of view, if you can just touch a bit more on what has he brought specifically, and because it seems like he's really getting the most out of all of you guys right now.
I think the one thing that comes to my mind straight away is the detail that he goes into with every single player in all aspects of the game. And like I said earlier, that comes with taking on a lot of information. But when you've got a group like we do here that are more than willing to take it on, and everybody wants to develop as players, having someone of his experience as a player, but also working with some incredible coaches as well. He's taken a lot of information on and is working hard to pass that on to us. So from my point of view, it's like I've played the game a long time, but when you hear him speak about some fine details in the game, you feel like you're learning all the time.
And just one last one. Obviously, you mentioned about the fine details and the things you've learned under him. We know how he wants to play. You've obviously played under coaches who probably want to play a similar way. So do you find maybe it's easier to adapt to his ideas because you've kind of maybe seen similar, or do you think it's more difficult because obviously you're an experienced player, you are what you are in a sense, if you get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think realistically I've played under quite a few managers now, and each of them has different ideas and different ways they want to do it. So like as a professional player in this day and age, you have to be adaptable. And that every time I do take that new information on that they're giving me, I feel like that I'm lucky to be able to hear it, so that there's more to learn, more to take in, and more to develop.
Any more questions? Okay, diolch yn fawr pawb. We'll bring Craig in shortly.
Thank you.